Hello, hello, scented friends. Welcome to my world of fragrance. Long time no see. So today I'm going to share two fragrances with you from the house of Christian Provenzano Perfumes. And I got these two fragrances on sale thanks to my kind friend on Instagram who let me know about their 2-for-1 bottle offer that Christian Provenzano was having. And so basically I got 2 bottles for the price of 1. And how could I pass up on such a wonderful offer? So I'm going to review these 2 fragrances from the line for you today, and they happen to be my favorites. I did get a chance to sniff out all of them in Jovoy here in London, and yeah, these are my 2 favorites, so let's go. So this line from Christian Provenzano is called the Perfumer's Collection. Provenzano himself has been in the industry for over 20 years. He's created some amazing fragrances for Boadicea the Victorious. He's created fragrances for Clive Christian, and probably his most famous fragrances are for Agent Provocateur. So this is his line and his opportunity to really be creative as a perfumer without the restrictions that come with creating a fragrance for a certain brand that has, you know, all of their guidelines. They have their own vision of the direction that they want a fragrance to take. This line, I personally expected before trying it out, would be more you know, out there because the perfumer would have more freedom. The line itself is still, I would say, on the likable side. Despite it being called the Perfumer's Collection, Provenzano still has gone for fragrances that I feel he would know would sell well. So the line itself is not that old, it's from 2018, and the fragrance that I initially went after to smell was Patchouli Noir. So just to show you the packaging that you get with these Christian Provenzano fragrances, the bottle is glass, it's a heavy bottle, but this by no means is, you know, expensive packaging. The stopper itself, or the lid, is, I think there's a weight in here to make it more weighty than it actually is. And to be honest, like if you look closely, it seems like some of the gold foliage or the gold metal would come off with time. So it's not, how do I put this? It is not the highest luxury of packaging, but it'll do, I guess. A bottle will cost you about $240, I believe. I paid £190 for my then 2 bottles that I got, which was a great deal. So yeah, the price is okay, I guess. It's not the, you know, highest of the luxury prices, but it's not low either. So on to the fragrance itself. This fragrance actually really caught me by surprise. Guessing by the name, I expected a very dark evening type of patchouli, possibly on the chocolatey side. I hadn't looked up any of the notes whatsoever before trying this, and it really caught me by surprise because this is a bubbly, fruity beginning. This is a bunch of the ripest, most luxurious fruits on top of the head of a woman. What is that name of that woman? Carmen Miranda, a Carmen Miranda-esque looking woman with a fruit basket on her head, drinking a glass of champagne at the Copacabana, about to dance some samba. She keeps that champagne in her mouth as she's dancing, and that bubbly, rich fruitiness. There are berries in this fragrance that to me come across as just this basket of ripe, gorgeous fruits. And all of this is intertwined with a breeze of patchouli. So it's not what I expected whatsoever. So as this develops, the bubbliness of the beginning goes away. You are left with more of a musky, fruity cocktail. There is a very strong muskiness to this fragrance with that patchouli that I feel like is quite universally pleasing. This, I believe, is the fragrance that is the most popular in the line. It's the one that I've heard, you know, talked about the most. And yeah, I just find it to be a surprise. It was a surprise to me what kind of fragrance this was. And it's not necessarily what I would normally think that I would gravitate towards. I'm not big on very fruity scents because I feel like the fruit can come off as cheap a lot of the time. And these fruits do not. These berries are gorgeous, they're luscious, and yeah, like I said, this just gives me that vibe of just dancing at a samba club in Brazil. I don't know. This is a fragrance that I feel that you could wear in the evening time all year round. And yeah, this time of year, I would definitely wear this fragrance in the evening still. So I'm enjoying this one. I get medium projection with this fragrance. I would say if you are aware of Provenzano's style with Boadicea the Victorious, this is not as bombastic a type of fragrance as some of the Boadiceas. I get around 8 hours with this fragrance, so okay longevity. And yeah, definitely a unisex fragrance. Lots of people I feel would appreciate Patchouli Noir, and if you don't like patchouli, try this one anyways because it's not super heavy on the patchouli. So the other fragrance that I got was Oud Al Fayed. And I will have to say, again, talking about the packaging, I was disappointed to find that when I twisted this lid, it came undone. So the glue actually let go of this part of the cap. I feel like for the price that you're paying, you should get better quality when it comes to that. Actually, I didn't even show you the box yet. So the box looks like this. It is, you know, simple. I kept this just to show you because, again, I'm gonna toss this box out. I don't feel like it's super extravagant or anything. Pretty standard box, if you ask me. So packaging is not exactly what I would, you know, go for when it comes to this fragrance line. The packaging isn't what would entice me. But the fragrances themselves. So Oud Al Fayed is more of a Middle Eastern style tribute. Provenzano himself lives in, where was it that he lived? Dubai, I believe. He lives in the Middle East. And this fragrance is, you know, a beautiful homage to a rose and oud fragrance. This has Cambodian rose in it. And again, like going back to Provenzano knowing what type of fragrance sells, this fragrance is quite similar to Nemer from Boadicea the Victorious. So Nemer is a beautiful rose oud fragrance, and there are definitely similarities between these two. I would say though that Oud Al Fayed has more of a fecal oud, a more prominent, realistic oud in the opening of this fragrance and throughout to the dry down of the fragrance. You feel the Cambodian oud. That is what drew me to Oud Al Fayed, actually. If you like that realistic oud mixed with a beautiful rose bush, then you may be interested in Oud Al Fayed. Nemer, I feel like, hides that fecal oud a little bit more. Yeah, this just smells like pure luxury, but this goes for 350 pounds for 100 ml, and this, like I said, was 190 for 100 ml. So the opening of Oud Al Fayed, as mentioned, you know, has that oud from the beginning. It's quite sharp upon first spray, but then turns more fecal, and then that oud meets that mossy rose bush. There's also some patchouli in the base of this fragrance, and you know, it blends in with some florals and also some resinous undertones. So yeah, this one I feel is a nice, slightly more Western wearable take on a Middle Eastern oud fragrance. It's not too invasive with pure oud, but then again, you'll have to try and see with what works with your nose and what you like. The projection and longevity on this fragrance is great. It's good quality. So yeah, I would say definitely try this out if you're interested in a more expensive Boadicea, but you know, not necessarily have the means to buy it at this certain moment in time. And the Patchouli Noir, I will say that I just love the opening so much that I would respray it and buy it just for that. Like, I just feel like the feeling that this gives me as well, that, you know, happy dancing at a beautiful evening venue, even though I can't right now because of safety measures. is what made me want to get that fragrance as well. So yeah, 2 for 1. That was a great deal. I try to share any deals that brands are having going on over on my Instagram and my stories. Yeah, there are deals to be made, guys. Like, I love luxury fragrances, but I am still a bargain hunter, and wherever I can, I try to save. So those were my opinions on these two. Please let me know if you've tried this line at all, what you think about Provenzano's work. He really does create fragrances that are noticeable, you know, like really impressionable fragrances that are unusual but are still likable. So, you know, they all have this luxury feel to them. So I am a fan of Provenzano's work, and I am enjoying these two at the moment. Shipping was also super quick from their website, I forgot to add, and that is another important factor nowadays. I got these within 2 days, so that was great. So there you have it, guys. My thoughts on Oud Al Fayed and Patchouli Noir from Christian Provenzano. I am going to be getting one of the Papillon fragrances that I spoke about when I did my blind testing from that house. So stay tuned for which one I've gotten. And yeah, I will see you in my next review.